So it all comes down to this.
That's right. What does?
Our manager of the competition, James.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I guess it comes down to one simple question.
Yeah, who to captain?
No. You ask yourself, do you feel lucky? Punk? Do you?
Guys, can we get started with the show? You've been there for ages.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Sorry. After you. Honestly, after you. No, please.
On this week's FPL FY, we dive into the numbers to find out who is really going under the radar in FPL.
Trent Alexander-Arnold reveals who is the first pick in his fantasy team.
And me and James talk through our big calls that could determine who takes the first ever FPL FY Manager of the Month award. Game week 13 Dream Team time, and as ever, there's lots of random names. Brett, by the way, hat-trick for you as well. Hat-trick on the show, how you doing, man?
Yeah, good, thanks, guys. Good to be here for a third
Freshest
time.
trim in FPL.
Every single time. Every single time, without fail. You got me and James with these old trims. But there's some new faces in this team as ever. But the man that I'm looking at is James Tarkowski.
Wow.
It's absolutely stunning. The first player since Harry Kane in game weeks 19 and 20 in December 2017 to be a top player in consecutive weeks. And he's obviously a centre-back.
Tarkowski has been so impressive for Burnley for a couple of years now. Got himself into the England squad. Why aren't people going near him? 2.7% ownership.
Yeah, I mean, 29 points in the last 2 game weeks is not to be scoffed at, and the kind of scores I only dream of in my team.
For the entire team.
For sure. I think he's overlooked because he's 5 million, and maybe 5.1 now, and there's been cheaper ways into the Burnley defence all season. So at the start with Nick Pope at 4.5 in goals, also Eric Peters and Loughton, even Charlie Taylor now at 4.2 is available. So it's because he's that bit extra that people aren't buying him, but he's proved value for money.
Do you think there's a talking point there in terms of like doubling up with Burnley? We've spoken about it on the show a couple of times about Sheffield United, but Pope is a set and forget goalkeeper. So do you go that step further and get someone like Tarkowski? It's 2 weeks on the trot.
I think the two things you've got to look at is if you go with that, you can't really double up on Sheffield United. Because then you've got 4 players from Burnley and Sheffield United. Don't want to do that. At some point, they're going to concede goals. We saw Sheffield United this weekend conceding 3.
Well, you were big on that last week, weren't you? You were saying this Sheffield United thing, it cannot last.
Yeah, and I said the train would have a car crash, and the train did have a car crash. I just think doubling up is a gamble. But the one thing about Pope is he's returned at least 1 save point in 8 game weeks. So you know, even if Burnley do get battered, he's going to get you save points. But James, anyone else in the team that you look at and you think, I know there's a guy in this team that you actually love.
And in the office, they've, a certain person, naming no names, Dave, our stats guy. He doesn't want to sing the praises of Conor Hourihane, but I am a massive fan of his. He keeps getting dropped or injured, but then fights his way back into the team. But he's saying now he's undroppable. So although he's in the dream team, and people are going, oh, why is he there? You're seeing the goals, you're seeing the assists. It takes a lot of set pieces as well. I think he could be a good sort of undercover shout.
The debate would be, and Brett, I'm looking at you here because I need your help. Jack Grealish is 0.2 million more than Conor Hourihane, who's 5.7 million. You know Jack Grealish is going to play. He's been playing in the advanced role. Would you be gambling in whichever position you are?
I wouldn't. I think Grealish is a much better and safer option at the moment. Because like you said, James, like even at the start of the season, I did some research on Villa. And you were right. Hourihane in the Championship last year had an unbelievable season. Most goal involvements with goals and assists. But the consensus with the fans was that he would get phased out a bit this season. And that has kind of come to fruition, Grealish just seems to be the more nailed on. I watched the game on Monday night and he was very threatening as well. So yeah, I prefer.
I think the big thing with Grealish is that one, he's a talisman of the club. The second thing, he's playing further up and to the left now. For a bit of the season, he was playing a bit deeper to get on the ball. But they've now got an understanding that he needs to be up there because he's the guy who can make the difference.
FPL conundrum time. This week's is actually quite easy. Or maybe it's not.
Well, that's a dig, isn't it?
Got to do what you got to do. That's part of the conundrum.
Okay.
Which player has featured in the dream team on the most occasions this season? Boys, have your cards? Any ideas?
There's 2 really obvious names that leap out straight away.
Maybe it's not.
They're probably the same 2 that I've got in my head, to be fair.
People always say that, but that's why it's a conundrum, guys. Get scribing.
I'm going to go obvious.
Are you? Whilst the guys are writing down their answers, make sure you subscribe to the channel because this week, David Myler went and met Gini Wijnaldum and bumped into Trent Alexander-Arnold, who had a bit to say about his fantasy Premier League team.
Not myself.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah. I'm expensive though, so.
Yeah, you get your assist. I've got you in my team. So I need more from you.
I know.
Yeah.
No, same. I Captain Vardy this week.
Did you?
Yeah.
I went with Son.
To be fair, if I was Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'd put myself in my FPL team as well. Whilst you guys are in the comments with the FPL conundrum, stay down there and get your at me when it happens, because if you can get it right, we're going to go through the comments next week. We will give you a shout out on the show, because to be honest, so far
We don't get them right.
it hasn't been working out for us. I felt like I got the tone of it right with Crystal Palace nearly. No, I'm not even going to go
You
there.
just pick the game.
But yeah, exactly, true. But we're going to do our at me when it happens right now. But as I say, get in the comments, put yours in there, big, bold predictions, and the correct ones will be on the show next week. Brett, what is your at me when it happens?
Okay, so 5 game weeks ago, I brought in one of the most informed, consistent forwards in FPL. It was Callum Wilson at home to Norwich, a lovely fixture. Since then, he's returned 8 points in 5 games and not registered a single shot on target, would you believe? So, with me selling Callum Wilson this game week, inevitably he's going to score or assist against Spurs in game week 14. If you have to, at me when it happens.
Different tone. Different sort of tone than we've normally had. Normally people go confident and big.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, sorry, this week.
Sums up my season.
I don't even believe in
emotional.
Mine's straightforward as ever. No stats needed. No pitch needed. I don't need to sell anything to you. Arsenal Norwich 5-goal thriller. Pookie is going to score. Aubameyang's going to score, and so is Lacazette. At me when it happens, because this week it's definitely going to happen.
You know me, guys. I love an underdog. So, Norwich are going to secure back-to-back wins for the first time this season at home against Arsenal. Not only that, there's going to be attacking returns for Buendia, for Pookie, and Cantwell. At me when it happens.